Right, I'm live now, guys, okay? Hi everybody, how are you all? I hope you're all okay. Happy Wednesday. We're going to do the week 2 of the quilt along today, this evening. But I've got a couple of little things to share with you. First of all, the boys are having their tea, so if there's a bit of noise, they've said they'll be quiet, but the boys are having their tea over there, so hopefully they won't be too noisy. They're stuffing pizza, so it'll be fine. Sen and I have been ultra busy in the shop today. We've had a massive clear up, really like sort of sorted out loads and loads of stuff like samples, you know, things that have been on the counter at the craft store, so packs that have been opened and everything. So there's nothing wrong with them, it just might mean that the pack's been opened. And lots of you have already found it, but we've put a lot of stuff into the going gone section on the website. There's not actually a massive amount left because several of you found it very quickly this afternoon. But there is, sorry, excuse me, my nose is really itchy today. There is still some stuff there, so if you're looking for a real mega bargain, there's lots and lots of bits there. So I talk about my nose because it's really bad. I've had a cancellation appointment for my operation. The hospital rang me today. Been waiting 3 years for the op now because of the whole COVID thing. It all got put on hold, but they had a cancellation, so I am going in to have my op on the 10th of March. So there's going to be a few days when I'm not going to be here, and you'll see more of Sarah doing the 1 o'clocks, or we might have to postpone some of them, but we'll let you know the time week by week as what's happening with that. But yes, I can't wait to have it done. All the pain in my face will hopefully be sorted out, which would be amazing. And then the third thing, let's just say hello to people just before I start, give people time to come on. Let's just come down and say hello to some people. Who's there? Hi Jill, hi Eileen, hi Jacqueline, hi Natalie, hi Cheryl, lovely, hi everybody. Who else is there? Let me see, oh, hang on. Computer, I've got to stretch. Hi Helen, hi Jean, hi Anne, hi Carolyn, hi Claire. Oh, lots and lots of you coming online. Hi Carol, brilliant, lots and lots of you all coming along to sew along with me today. Hi Nikki, hi Doreen, hi Susie, hi Sonia. Perfect, lots and lots of you coming, which is lush. I'm going to go over to the overhead now because we're also, I did tell you to join in today because great news about your op. Yes, it'll be, yes, hygiene as well. Yes, thank you, Janice. It's been a long time coming. It's a bit gross and everything, but I've got a really large cyst in this sinus. So my sinus is completely blocked and it goes down into my ear and up into my eye socket. It's really gross, but it causes me a lot of pain. So I've had to have this operation once before. So they've got to do it again and get rid of it all. I'll have to have it done again in the future, but it does give me a couple of years of pain relief before it starts to grow back. So yes, I'm muchly looking forward to it. It means I won't have to be on so many painkillers, which will be lovely. Cool. Right, I'm going to go to the overhead because we've been sent something really lovely as a giveaway. And we are, hopefully I'm in the right place, and we're going to do this as a giveaway to one of our lucky customer viewers, whatever. So whatever you've got, one of our gigglers, one of our lovely giggler of geckos. So this was has been donated to us from EQS, who we buy all our Liberty fabric from, and this is a beautiful fat quarter bundle of their brand new Liberty fabrics, which are called Flower Show Sunrise. Okay, and there is 15 fat quarters. I'm hoping you guys can see this. They are absolutely stunning. They're their brand new range, and we've got this whole fat quarter bundle to give away to one lucky person. Love the colour on that. I mean, that's one of the designs that I use a lot, but the colour on that one is beautiful. It's like a eau de Nil turquoisey tealy colour. It's gorgeous. And I've got it in the yellow. Really pretty. So what I'm going to do after the live, oh, I like that one. Oh, how pretty is that? That's gorgeous. I like these like stylized ones as well. After the live is finished, what I'm going to do is I will put a challenge post up on our Facebook page. It won't be in Gigglers. It'll be, I know they're gorgeous, aren't they? They are fabulous. I will put a challenge post up on our Facebook page, the White Gecko page, not the Gigglers page. It's going to go on the Facebook page. And what I want you to do is to share that post. Okay, so you want to comment on the post. Let me come back over here a second. So I'm going to put a post up. Oh, I don't know what that is. That's my phone doing something strange. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the post up. You need to comment on the post, okay, and just comment with "I love liberty." All right, so "I love liberty" on the post, but you need to share that post to your own pages. So you've got the little arrow that says share. Just share it to your own newsfeed, okay? Let all your friends know that they can go on and have a little go as well, okay? So that's what we're going to be doing, all right, lovelies? You don't have to do anything apart from comment "I love liberty," but you must share the post, all right? And I'll check. I will check before I put everyone's name in. So, but if you do that, you'd be in with a chance of winning this beautiful, beautiful bundle. So if we come back over here, yeah, you can see this really beautiful bundle. There are some stunning ones in there. There's that one, you might only be a bundle of 15, because that one might be only a bundle of 13, because those two look at those two together. Those are gorgeous. The projects you could do with this would be stunning. So that's what we'd like, please. Okay, so we'd like you to comment on the post "I love liberty," not this post, the post that I'm going to put up afterwards. Okay, it will be on our Facebook page. You need to comment "I love liberty" and you need to share the post, and you'll be in a chance of winning all that. So lots of other people coming online. I know you're all loving these. Hi Taryn, hi Margaret, hi Lindy Lou, hi Pauline. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Lots of you coming online. I know they are gorgeous, aren't they? Really, really lovely. Cool. So what we're going to do is pop that out of the way, and then we're going to start the little block. So let me just pop these out of the way, keep them in bubble wrap, keep them all nice and safe. Look, I'm going to come back over to the front facing camera a second. Hi Sarah, hi Margaret, hello lovely. Oh, lots and lots of, Jacqueline, you put a tennis ball through one of the Liberty windows around the back when you were little. Oh, there's a story, Jacqueline, I love it. Excellent. Hi Susie, lovely, lovely. I love everybody. So the block that we're going to be doing today is this one up here. Okay, it's this row here. Okay, only one of my blocks is actually correct. I didn't even notice until I was hanging this back up earlier. Now I made this quilt 8-9 years ago, something like that. And when I was looking at the blocks, I was like, that one's wrong. That one's wrong. So can you spot shout at me in the comments, can you spot the wrong bits? Okay, let me know if you do. There's only one of the 4 blocks that's actually correct. 3 of them I've done wrong. I've put it together wrong. So obviously I'm not. It's been like that for 8-9 years. I'm not taking it apart. But let me know in the comments if you can. I presume you can see it. Can you all see the top row? Let me know. Can you see this top row here? I hope you can. I'm hoping the camera's pointed up high enough. If you can see it, type in the comments if you spotted the obvious deliberate mistakes, except they were deliberate mistakes on 3 blocks. Maybe the correct one is actually wrong, but it's not. The correct one is actually correct. So, second from the right. No, no, there's a mistake in that one. Cropped corners on 3 blocks. Yeah, now you mentioned it, you can. Yeah, there's a block is the wrong way round. Part of the block, a piece of the block, is the wrong way round on 3 of them. The outer blocks are twisted. The one second from the left is correct. Your right hand. So this one here is correct. But can you see on this one here, that's the wrong way round. On this one here, that one's the wrong way round. And on this one, all the way over here, that one's the wrong way round. Shows how much I noticed. See? Yeah, second on the left is the correct one. That's right, absolutely. Yeah, those little blocks I put in the wrong way. So, we all make mistakes though, and I hadn't noticed for 8 years until I hung it up today. So, it's staying. I'm not I'm not going to unquilt it. Right, so what we're going to do, I did put the cutting, I'll come over here now, did put the cutting instructions up for you, okay. This bit here is what we're going to work on today. The bit that said on the Facebook page, fabric 5, 4 and 5, are actually for the joining bits, which, hang on, let's go back there. Now you've pointed out, you can see it exactly, yeah. There's no quilt please, is there, Claire? Absolutely. The joining bits, fabrics 4 and 5, were for these sections here, okay? And these 3 are one size, and the ones at the end are narrower. And we're using those, ooh, nearly brought the quilt down. We're using those to make this block long enough to be with the other rows, okay? So that's why we're doing it. Were you on the gin when you're making it? Probably, Carolyn. Probably. No, it's just one of those things, isn't it? Sometimes you just don't see it until somebody else points it out. Or, you know, it also shows my inexperience as well. You know, I've been quilting for about 15 years now. You know, and I started making, you know, charm pack quilts and all that type of thing, you know, but this was the first time I'd done a row by row quilt, and I probably just hurried it. So, we're going to go back to over here. Again, like we said last week, don't worry too much about that, what the cut instructions that were on Facebook, fabric 4 and 5 at the moment, because those are the joining ones. What we're looking for is the background fabric, fabric 1, fabric 2, fabric 3, okay? As I've suggested, write into your pattern, okay, what colours you're going to be using. Again, like we said last time, when I wrote this pattern originally, it said 2 3/8. I then realised how much I hate 3/8 or 7/8. So my cut instructions that I put onto Facebook, I put 2 1/2 so that we can square down. Now this block in particular was written because remember we talked about the fact that all of these rows were like a different technique. Now this isn't a different technique with regards to, it is piecing like we did last time, but this is using quite small pieces. So this is about like testing and getting your scant 1/4 of an inch right, which we're going to talk about in a moment, okay? It doesn't matter, does it, Susie? No, it doesn't matter, it makes it unique. Nobody else pointed it out to me. That's been hung up in an exhibition. Nobody pointed it out to me either. So, I don't mind. But yeah, this week they're relatively small blocks, okay? They come out at 9 1/2 inches square, which is why we need those extra pieces in to make it long enough for the row to go with the other blocks. So we're going to be using quite small pieces. So this is one to kind of test your scant 1/4 of an inch, test your accuracy. So it's really good practice, okay? So this week's about practicing those little small pieces and those straight lines, okay? So you will need, from your background fabric, you are going to need 4 squares that are 2 1/2. You're going to need 4 rectangles which are 2 inch by 3 1/2. And you're going to need 8 squares which are 2 inches, okay? You're right there, Scout. Got Scout tonight as well because my sister's in work tonight. From your fabric 1, which for me is dark grey, in the pattern it's purple, okay? I want 8 2-inch squares. From my fabric 2, which is, for me it's coral, in the pattern it's cream, okay? You're a little bit late, you fell asleep. Oh, yeah, you can have a nap, love, you can catch up later. Again, the pattern says 2 3/8. I've cut 2 1/2. We're going to square up. And then you want, again, 2 inch by 3 1/2 inch. And then my fabric 3, which is my very centre, is a 3 1/2 inch square. Okay. Fabric 4 and fabric 5 are for the joining blocks. Now, you can do those now, but you don't have to. You could do this on the very last week when we put it all together. All right, so don't worry too much. I would concentrate on the star block, this bit here. We're going to be concentrating on the star to start with, okay? I'm going to sneeze, so... No, it's gone. Has it gone? Yeah, it's gone. I am going to sneeze, I can feel it building. So we're going to start with our 2 1/2 inch squares, okay? And we're back to our old favourites, half square triangles, okay? It's something we use a lot I know I'm going to be repeating myself, but again, it's always good practice. These are little pieces, so we're going to put them right sides together, like this. Make sure they're all nice and lined up. Right sides together, like that. So how have you all been? How did you get on with last week's block? How did everybody do? Why is that one not quite the right size? Is it my dodgy cutting? You just recheck that one, because that might be my dodgy cutting. I did cut quite quickly. 2.5. Yes, it is. It's just a widgy bit of dodgy cutting. There we go. My pink was my corally colour was a little bit too big. How are you all doing? Has anybody done anything exciting? Anybody got anything to tell me? Who's had their tea? What have you eaten? So I'm going to draw a line, diagonal line, right the way across these, and then we're going to go and we're going to have a little chat about our skank quarter. Okay, so just going to do my diagonal lines first. So please do talk to me. Please do have a chat, because otherwise this is going to be an hour of me whittering on. There we go. That's the next one. But we are going to do this, like, you know, in its entirety. That's one of the reasons we're doing the later one, so that I can, you know, I can do it all with you rather than, you know, rushing it as a 1 o'clock. I've got a little bit more time of the evenings. There we go. So you had cauliflower and bacon cheesy bake with carrots and green beans. Oh, that sounds lush. I've been looking forward to the second block. Got my first 4 blocks done last weekend. Brilliant. You've sewn, Jean, you've sewn 3 of 4 of block 1. Brilliant. Lovely. Oh, that you all sound like you're getting on really well, which is great. So we're going to go over to the machine over here. Okay. Now, I'm going to use my 1/4 inch foot. I just want to talk you through this a little bit. So I'm going to use, hang on, let me grab my little scissors. Chicken Kievs. Yum. Love chicken Kiev. Hot dogs and chocolate cake for afters. Ah, nice. So I'm using my 1/4 inch foot. So from the centre, as you, or probably, I'm probably teaching you to suck eggs here now. So from my centre piece here, from where my needle is to this bit of the foot where the little blade is 1/4 inch. When you're working with little tiny pieces, okay, you wanted a scant quarter, okay, and what I mean by that is, at the moment, hang on, if I just move this camera just a weeny bit, I'm hoping you can see this. If I do this to here, can you guys all see this now? Because I can't see it on the screen anymore. Oh, hi Melba, lovely, lovely. Jean pizza and salad, lovely. You finished the blocks at 12.25 and 12. Don't worry too much about that. That's don't put a board around them, Sonia. When we put it all together, I'll show you I can fix that. Dawn, you're going to call into the shop tomorrow to get your wool and some fabric. Ah, lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh, I'll tell you something about it tomorrow in a moment. Faggots and peas, harissa, sweet potatoes and ratatouille for tonight. Oh, nice. You're having lovely teas. Sounds delicious. You can see the screen. Brilliant. So, when my needle is dead centre on my machine, yours might be different, it's 3.5, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to knock that up 1. So it goes to 4. And if I come back to here, and I'm hoping that's now back in the right place, because this back over here, guys. What that will do is I'm going to move this now without you seeing the screen. So if you watch if I put that there, I'm hoping you'll be able to see it move. So there's my 3.5, that's dead centre. I'm going to move it over to 4. Now what that does with my 1/4 inch is just knock it over a tiny bit, a tiny bit. 0.5 of a millimetre is what it's knocked it over. I'm going to just double check, I know that mine does, but double check that your needle still goes through the whole of the 1/4 inch, okay? Which it does. It's not hitting the needle or anything like that, it still goes through. That's what you want to check. If you knock it over just that teeny tiny bit, you're going to get your skank 1/4 inch. It seems like a minuscule amount, but when all those little minuscule amounts add up and they give you a smidgen of wiggle room, all right? The skank 1/4 inch is like, you know, the holy grail for quilters. If you can find it, if you can get it on your machine, it will make your life just a weeny bit easier. You get that tiny extra little bit of wiggle room, which is really important, okay? So, going to do half square triangles, so I'm going to stitch a 1/4 inch, a scant 1/4 inch either side of my drawn line, Okay, so let me just line this one back up because it's moved a weeny bit. And when we're doing it as well, you want to try and keep the guide, if you can, again, not dead on the... Hang on, I'm trying to find a pin so I can show you this. Not dead on the line. You're going to keep the guide as if the line was the edge of the fabric. So you're going to keep the guide to just this side. Now this all comes with a lot of practice, all right? And because we've cut them slightly bigger at 2.5, you've got, I thought I was using a 1/4 inch fit, but yours doesn't look like that, Cheryl. So sometimes they have this little blade, okay? Sometimes they don't. If you haven't got one with a blade, try and get yourself one. They're about a £5. You can get them on Amazon in places, you know, the A word. But they're about a £5, okay? They're not expensive. And the little blades really are helpful. I find them really helpful anyway. A lot of people don't like to use them, and that's okay too. But for me, that blade is invaluable, okay? So I'm going to put the blade, I'm going to treat it. So if we were just doing a normal 1/4 inch, we would butt that fabric right up to the edge of the little guide blade, okay? So what we're going to do is pretend that the drawn line is actually the edge of the fabric. So you just want to keep it just on the outside edge of the drawn line. Did that all make sense? Are you all okay with that? Well, because we're using such little pieces, I'm trying to give you some ideas of how you can claw those little those fabrics back, okay? So I'm going to start stitching and go, you know, particularly as it's little, go a little bit steady, go a little bit slower than you might normally if you were doing a long, nice straight seam on a big piece of fabric. So I'm going to go down that side, okay? I'm going to chain piece these, so my foot's lifted, I'm going to pop that one in, and away we go again. Okay, so I'm going to go down, all down one side of all of them. So, well, it sounds like you all had some lovely, lovely teas, most definitely. I'm not sure what I'm going to have. Josh just chucked pizzas in for the boys tonight because I think they've got like they've got D&D, Dungeons and Dragons tonight. They play online with a group. So it was a quick tea tonight. My husband made the most amazing Alaska noodles on Monday. It was, oh my god, it was so good. So good. There we go. Down we go, all down that side like that. So, yeah, Dawn, I'm just going to go back to tomorrow, lovely, if you're coming into the shop. Sarah and I won't be there for the morning. Our lovely, lovely Sean, who's the third gecko, her daddy died 2 weeks ago, and it's his funeral. So Sarah and I will be there to support her. So so we won't be in the shop, but lovely Linda is going to be there, and she will help you, Dawn, if you come and we're not there, okay? But she will be there to give you a hand. There we go. So now I've turned them, and I'm going down the other side, right? So have a play around before you start stitching yours together. Have a play around with your machine. Try and find that scant 1/4 inch, okay? What's that, Sarah? You had a chippy tea. Nice. Can't beat a chippy tea. We had Chinese on Saturday after the West Midlands Safari Park, and it was delicious. We haven't had one for ages. It was like, oh, nice. And Jill, you had grilled salmon and veg. Oh, that was very healthy of you, Jill. Well done. I'm trying to be good again. I really am. I lost quite a lot of weight. I lost like 3 stone, and I've managed to put half a stone back on, and I am finding it difficult to lose it again. Okay, so I'm just going to snip those, and we're going to go back over to here. Homemade lentil soup. It's horrible weather here. Oh, bless you. Oh, yeah, but homemade soup is delicious. Josh made one the other day. He did like, what was it? Oh, he did a pumpkin one, which was just yum. Yum, yum, yum. There we go. So, I'm going to cut up those lines, just like we do normally with half squares. So there's nothing different. I just wanted to talk you through though. That's trying to find that scant 1/4 and giving yourself that little bit extra to and also when you're putting your fabrics together, you know, when you're putting all these little pieces, if you can do that with a scant 1/4, very often that means that your block is not going to come up a little bit small. Okay, there we go. So cut those ones up, and then we've got a little bit of squaring up to do, I'm afraid. So You definitely need to talk to me while I iron these out. Natalie, coming down to visit Mum at the end of March. Hopefully you come in and say hi before going back up. Ah, lovely. Oh yeah, that would be lovely to see you, Natalie. Please do. Because you used to come in quite regularly with your mum, didn't you? But so again, little pieces, gentle pressing. Okay, don't a gentle roll out and a press. Don't be too vigorous with it all. There we go. Again, it's small, they stretch. Who said something about was it Cheryl? Did you say you hand-fed some red pandas at your local wildlife centre? Where was that? Was that in West Midlands? Did you live up round there? Because we saw red pandas on Saturday when we went up for little Jonah's birthday. So yeah, it's a really light hand. Don't be vigorous with this at all. Try and be as gentle as you can. Sending love and hugs to Sean. Indeed, yes, yeah. It's hard, isn't it? It's I mean, it's 15 years ago that I lost my dad, and he was only 56, bless him. And but it's still hard, isn't it, losing your dad? I was in Hertfordshire. Ah, fair enough. Watching with grandson Max. He's very interested. Oh, bless. Hopefully I'm not boring him too much. Right, we are now going to square these ones up, okay? And they need to be 2 inches. All right, so come on, ruler. There we go. So you're going to have to bear in. Now, hopefully you can see by doing that cutting them at 2.5 and doing that scan 1/4 inch. I've got quite a lot of wiggle room there. Okay, I'm going to cut off quite a bit, but it means you can just be a little bit more accurate. You can be a bit more precise. So most of you, I'm sure a lot of you already know about this whole scan 1/4 inch thing, but for those of you who don't, I just thought I'd go through how I find it, okay, on my machine. There we go. Right, okay, I've got 8 of these to square up. They now need to be 2 inches. All right, so I'm gonna whiz through these. My usual squaring up, so 45° down the seam, across and across, like that. Get rid of that excess, and then again this way. Now, if you're a bit clever, you can cut that 2 3/8 and use the scant 1/4, and you probably won't have to square up at all. But I don't like sewing with these dog ears, so I always tend to square up no matter what. So I'd rather cut it just a tiny, tiny bit bigger and square up, which you know I hate, but it's worth doing. There we go. Drew and I are trying to find a way of getting this overhead camera up and over so that it looks, so you're looking like from my bird's eye view. But with our funny little setup in my dining room like this, we're struggling to get the right equipment. So unfortunately it's all still on the side. So but we are trying to work out how we can do it without, costing thousands of pounds type thing, because this is just a home setup, as we know. There we go. So how many of you had a little buy on the going gone today then? I know some of you did. What you're saying, let me just look at that one. I'll just look at your comments quickly. Carolyn and I lost your dad at Christmas. Oh, he was nearly 90. Oh, sorry, nearly 99. Oh, bless. Oh, I'm sorry, lovely. That's sad news. I'm sorry about that. It's always sad, isn't it? It's terrible. Claire, you'll be going on Thursday and Friday and book some workshops. Oh, lovely. You all, Jean, you did, and yeah, I know you did, Annie, because I had to ring you because we'd actually run out of one of the things which wasn't in the going and gone section. But there we go. So I'm gonna have a really strange old March now. So we've got Duxford coming up in a couple of weeks. No, so not this weekend, the weekend after, we're going to be at the Duxford show. So if any of you in that area, please do come and say hello. And me and my husband are going to do that. Phil's going to come with me and do that one. Because he's got a lot of holiday to use up, so he's going to be off most of March. And then I'm going to be coming back from Duxford, and then I've got to self-isolate before I have this operation. So I'm going to be working from home for that week. So Sarah's going to be in the shop by herself. And then I've got the operation now on the 10th, and then a couple of days off from that. And then I'm off for 10 days at the end of March because we've booked to go to Amsterdam with my husband for his birthday. And then my son, daughter-in-law bought a house, and we're going to be moving them and like properly in at the end of the house. So so yeah, it's going to be quite funny old March, busy March, and we've got a Hochanda in there as well. So there we go, 8 little half square triangles. So what we want now is, you want, hang on, I've got to keep referring back because it's been a long time. The background. You want the background 2 inches. And this is the bit that I did wrong. This is definitely the bit that you only saw the Go and Go Live post a few minutes before going live. Oh, well, there is a few bits still there. So we're going to make 4 of these little units. Okay, so you want your background 2-inch squares. And this is definitely rare. Now, I realised earlier that the graphic on this is wrong, which might be where I went wrong. We want it to look like this. Ignore that graphic there, it's the wrong way round. Shows how it is before I started writing patterns properly. This is the graphic, how you want it to look, alright? So we're going to put the colour into the centre, like that, and like that, okay? So we're going to be making those, and we're going to make 4 of them. And Scout is being very vocal because he's a noisy beagle, like that. Make 4 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then those are going to go in like that. And this one's going to go in like that. Okay, so we're going to make 4 of those. We're going to stitch these 2 together, and then those 2, and then join them, and then we're going to make a little full patch. So Sonia, you managed to get some of the Swan Lake fabric, but yes, I saw, I put your order up, it's all done. So I'm going to do these separately, individually, so I don't do it wrong. So we're going to go back over here. Debbie, you got 2, lots of bargains, that's okay. The thing is once packets open, we can't sell them in the shop for like usual price, and there's no point us just hanging on to all these open packages. So I'd rather people, you know, have them, use them, get some use out, you know, get some love out of them. So again, nice and slow and steady because they're little pieces. And we're going to make sure that this is going the right way, like that, which it is. There we go. So yeah, my husband and I have booked to go to Amsterdam, just the 2 of us, except we're going to Zandvoort this time rather than Amsterdam. It's like the beach bit, about 15 minutes outside of Amsterdam. We've booked a little like cabin-y place right on the beach. It's lovely. It looks really nice. And it's for his birthday, so we're going to go there for a couple of days, just the 2 of us, away from the kids. So, have you had any more of the grunges coming back in stock? We haven't, lovely, not at the moment. They are few and far between grunges at the moment. Moda are really struggling to get stock in from Canada. If you give me a shout, I might have like fat quarters and stuff of some things. Drop me a message, Claire, and I'll let you know what we have got left. If there's a particular colour, I can see if we've got some. You might use up your fabric stash. There's lots of money being spent on a new bathroom. Oh, nice. Well, we had ours done about a year ago now. The ensuite are done, and I love it. The boys aren't allowed in it. It's my space. They're not allowed in there. Oh yes, yeah. Just drop me a message for the ones that you're looking for, Claire. Okay, and I will see if what we've got. If we've got any like, you know, fat quarters or like half metre pieces anywhere, because sometimes we do, and they might not be left on the website. So there we go, nearly all 4 done. You say, Cheryl, though, you must use up your fabric stash before buying anything else, but nobody asks a stamp collector to use their stamps to post birthday cards, do they? You know, why can't we just collect fabric? That's what I think anyway. So we're just going to come back over here. We're going to chop up this little line of pieces. Here we go. Sorry, I just stopped talking then, didn't I, while I was concentrating. There we go. And down on this one as well. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to put these back together now. So I'm just going to finger press towards the background square. Okay, so just finger press each time towards the background square, and then when we turn it, you've got that little bow tie. Okay, and then we're going to put those right sides together. So I'm going to do that on each of them so that I can make sure they're going the right way this time. You need to make scouts and booties. I know, that's actually Gem's claws. She's got really long quicks in her nails, which means the vet can't trim them down very far, or the groomer, and she clacks on it. She's very noisy. She's a noisy girl. It's not scout barking, it's our Gem's nails going clack clack clack. Our 4-generation stamp collecting is helping the insulation layer in your attic. Well, exactly. That's what your fabric could be doing. It could be a new insulation layer, couldn't it? However, I am trying to be very good at the moment and not buy any fabric or, you know, think, oh, I need some of that, and just use up some of the stuff I've got. There we go. Okay, we're going to put these together now. So we're going to go right sides together like that, and nest those seams up if you want to. Pop a little pin in there. In fact, I'm going to, because I want these to be nice and neat. So I'm going to pop a pin in there like that. Oh, and remember that little diagonal trick with the pin so that you're catching the back seam as well. And we're going to stitch those together. All right, over we go again. What's that, Claire? You're doing best to use more of my stash, but I've realised I don't actually have much in there for background photos. I know we get that a lot actually, because we all buy the pretty fabrics like the design ranges and oh, look at that, that's gorgeous, and then suddenly you realise you want to make something and you haven't got just a plain cream or a plain white, or you know, just a really pretty background fabric, or you want a solid to go with those. And it's actually quite, you know, we buy jelly rolls and things and stuff and all the pretty stuff, and actually sometimes you need the practical stuff too. So I'm just going to double check that one. Yeah, there we go, like that. You alright, Joe?
Yeah.
Well, Josh is just checking where Scout is because he's probably eating something he shouldn't be. There we go. So again, I'm just using that scant quarter to make sure it's all lining up nicely. Your crafting room's lovely and warm with all the insulation. Absolutely. Here, it's doing its job. You're saving energy, saving the planet. Susie, you had that reel, but then Liberty released Emily Bell. I know, it's beautiful, that range, isn't it? Really gorgeous. I'm very excited. So I was showing Susie at the beginning of this. I was showing everybody that lovely Liberty bundle that EQS sent us to give away. So we're going to do a prize draw on that one. Here we go, all the way down. Remember, I will put a post up at the end of this, okay, that you need to do for that Liberty bundle. And you can see as well, I'm going quite slowly with this, and I know it's a little bit repetitive for you, seeing me make all 4, but I also wanted you to see how quick a block is to make, start to finish. I think sometimes that's, you know, kind of important to see, because we can look at blocks and think, oh, that's really complicated, but actually one block is going to take us about an hour, I think, to do one block. So it's not, probably less actually, if I wasn't chattering away so much. Okay, so again, we're going to clip those like that, and then we're going to come back over here and we're going to just iron this out, okay? Now, you can do that little trick with this if you want to. Well, hopefully you can see this. Where we take out those little stitches there. I was doing this on a chanda for people actually on Monday. If you take out those couple of little stitches like that, with little pieces like this really works. So where this line crosses, just take out the little stitches just there. I know we've talked about this before lots. So that the seam will go one way like that. Okay, and you get that little 4 patch in the centre, and it also helps it all lie. There's less bulk right in the centre, which helps it all lie really nice and neatly. Okay, so give that a gentle press like that. All right, You can see you've got a really nice, and it's nice and flat as well. It goes really lovely and flat. So I'm going to do that on all 4. You don't have to, but I do think it's worth it when you're working with small pieces. Just taking out those couple of little stitches and letting the seams go one either way, and it creates that tiny little fall patch on the back like that, and then just gently press from the front. Okay, I did starch my fabrics as well. They were great shows on Monday. Oh, thank you. That's really kind of you. Yeah, we had some lovely sales. Sarah and I and Linda as well, we worked our bottoms off the last couple of days to get all the orders out. So they all went out today. Everything was, some of it went out last week, and then the rest of it went out today. That was from Sarah's shows on Thursday last week, and then mine on Monday. So yeah, we had a really good couple of shows actually, which is lovely. Which all does, you know, help us, keep us in good standing with all this merger and everything. Is, do you reverse stitch at the beginning and end of sewing? No, never, lovely. I never bother. Apart from the fact that all these seams are going to be sewn into other things, I find it distorts the fabric a little bit if I reverse, you know, and sort of. Sometimes I might use a lock stitch, which is the one on my machine again. It goes up and down on the spot and locks it, but no, certainly when I'm chain piecing, I never do that. I find that it just it pulls and you get more distortion. So and I don't mind that that's not, you know, that's not locked off at the end, because that's going to be sewn into something else. So it really doesn't matter. Yeah, it's I never do. It distorts too much for me. And that might be because I tend to be quite a fast sewer and I'm not as careful as I should be, but I don't like to use it. There we go. So we now have 4 little bow tie blocks. Okay. Ooh, oh, there goes my, oh God, what was that just fell off? Something just fell off my iron. Oh, I don't know what that was, but something just fell off my iron. It's very warm. Uh-oh, don't know what that was. My iron might have had it. So I'm going to put these aside. These should measure, I believe, 3.5. Let me just triple check. They measure 3.5 inch square. Yes, they do. 3.5 inch square. That's, I'm remembering the pattern. Put those to the side. We're going to do some flying geese, okay? And we're going to do flying geese, not like we did last time. We're doing it a different method again. We're doing it like the traditional method. So what I want for my flying geese is, not that one. Hang on 2 seconds. I need to remember my colours. Blue is my cream. So you want your cream 2 inch by 3.5, and you want your dark 2 inch squares. All right. So we are going to mark up the back of 4 of these with a diagonal line. Okay, it's the end. It tucks between the base plate and the top casing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Claire, your Chandra order arrived today. Thanks. Ah, brilliant. Yeah, it can do. It can kind of get all stuck in like the feed docks and everything, can't it? So, yeah, totally get that, Susie. So we're going to go across like that, right the way across. Okay. Now remember, you can, you know, use the cutting instructions that I put on, and you can stop and do this, you know, do the video, pause it, sew along if you want to. But the pattern, for those of you who haven't got it, is available on our website, either as a paper copy or a digital download. Now you can only buy the whole pattern as a paper copy, because unfortunately our website won't allow me to put a document big enough on for a digital copy, but it's the same price whether it's a full one or you buy them individually. Okay, so we're going to do old-fashioned flying geese. Okay, so we're going to pop this one on like this, one of my 2 inch by 3.5 inch ones, and we're going to go on the left side first with the line running this way, the diagonal line. Okay, so I'm going to do this on all 4 like that, and like that there, and then that one's on there. And again, I'm going to sew these. We're going to stitch on the line, but I want to stitch, so this is going to fold back over there, so I want to stitch this side of the line. So get that guide on that edge of the line. Okay, so we're going to do that. I meant the piece that fell off the iron. Oh, sorry, but true, diagonal. Yes, it is. Yeah, you're right, that piece there, it did just fall off there. Oh well, I might have to not be funny. These were like £6 in Lidl, really, really cheap and cheerful, and I've had it like 2 years now, and it's done the job. It gets transported all over the place, so I might get another one. So remember, this folds back, so we're going to stitch this side, just this side of the line. So I'm going to put the guide right on the edge of the line rather than on the line. Okay, sorry, I'm going to put the needle, not the edge, the needle just on this side of the drawn line. Okay, and that again will give me just that little extra bit of wiggle room with small pieces. So I can silicone glue it in place. Oh, I might do that. I will have a little look in a moment. Okay, so going on the line, but I want the needle to be just the other side. So I'm going to drop that down so I can just see it there. Okay, I'm not looking at the guide, I've got the needle on the other side of the line this time, okay? The other thing you can do when sewing with really small pieces is drop your stitch length a little bit. I mean, I've got mine on 2.5, but if you want to, you can go down to 2 or 1.8. That can help with smaller pieces. There we go. I'm going to do that one. And then we're going to do this one. Camera. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Jean. Good job I looked up then. I forgot to change the camera. Are we over here now? Hi! So, what I was saying is, I'm just going to put the needle just the other side of the drawn line. Okay. And down we go. Again, I'm keeping my speed really down because they're small. Take that time to make it. So it'll be back on 4 now. Hopefully that swapped over. Did that swap over? Okay, guys. See, too busy yakkering and not concentrating on what I was doing. Here we go. That's that one. And the last one. Oh, what's that? What are those naughty doggies doing now? I can hear them trying to come in from the kitchen. I was tagged in a lot of stuff on Facebook the other day. Oh, no, damn it. That's because I didn't concentrate. Just, can you see it tried to eat it because it was little? Let's just start again. I'm actually going to turn it and start from this side, so I'm not dealing with that horrible mushed up end. There we go. I was tagged in it about 3 times. There was a animal rescue centre that rescued 57 Labrador puppies, and I have been on in my husband that I want a Labrador or a Retriever puppy for months, and he keeps saying, no, you're not having one, no, we're too busy, not doing it, no. And I'm like, but I need one, and he's like, no. And I kept being tagged, and there's me like, do I really want another dog? Yes I do, yes I really do. So sewn down there, just double check that that's going to be correct, which it is, like that, and then we can chop this bit off. So we're going to chop off that excess. So this is like the most usual way of doing flying geese. Okay, so I'm chopping off, because that's going to fold back like that, so I'm chopping off this bit here, and I'm just leaving about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. It doesn't have to be exact, hence why scissors, but you can do it with a rotary cutter if you wish. Okay, we'll get rid of those bits, and then we're going to do the next bit. So we're going to iron these over very, very gently. So you want to just press them, set that seam, and then just gently roll that out. Okay. Press, gently roll out. I'm going to do that on all 4. Press, gently roll that out. And then we're going to put the other side on all 4. Okay. Here we go. I like for ages for a dog, but hubby said no, now you've got 3. Well, we've got Jem, bless her. She's a Welsh bobtail collie, which means like a Manx cat, they're born without tails. Then it hasn't been docked or anything like that. They're actually born like a Manx cat without a tail. But she's the prettiest thing. but she's the most neurotic dog in the world. And we do have Scout here quite a bit, who's the naughtiest beagle ever, but he's very, very lovable. He gives you proper hugs. He gets up next to you and actually puts his arm round. So, yeah, it's but I really, really want a Labrador or a Retriever. I really want one. And he keeps saying, no, I can't have one. He said, we can go on holiday or have a dog. So I really want to go on holiday this year with the boys, so that's what we're doing. I have to wait till next year, won't I? Okay, so these are now going to go on the other side. So those are all that way. So this one, you want to come in from this edge upwards, your drawn line, like that. And you should have a crossover at the top. Okay, that's what you're looking for, is that little crossover. So we're going to pop that one on, like that, line up, make sure you've got that little crossover. And we're making eagle flying geese. There we go, and then there's the last one. Like that. So I'm now going to do exactly the same. This time though, I'm going to try and keep my needle just this side of the line, okay, because that bit's going to fold over, so this side of the line, okay. So back over we go. I'll remember the camera this time. There we go. What's that? Your Hungarian Vizsla hugs us and drapes around our necks as we sit on the sofa. Fur baby hugs are the best. Yes, yes, they are. They are lovely. Jem doesn't. Jem's not allowed on the sofas. She's not allowed upstairs. I've always been a real one of not on the beds and stuff with dogs. But Scout, because he's my sister's dog, he just gets on the sofa and he gets up beside you and he gives you a proper hug. And but Jem still won't, even though she sees Scout do it. She won't get on because she's been, she's for like 10 years she's been like, oh, mustn't get on the sofa, must get on the sofa. So she doesn't, even though Scout's up there. There we go, down we go. Again, I'm just concentrating on keeping that needle just the other side of the line, just to give myself that wiggle room. That's number 3. Let's go a weeny bit slow just to get it on. And down we go. And the last one. We had no choice. Aww. Sonia, you really want a golden retriever? Me too. The thing is, I mean, I know with lockdown and everything, everybody was getting a dog and stuff. But when we kind of thought about it about 4 or 5 years ago, we thought about getting a dog. Another dog. Golden retrievers, like new puppies, were about £1,500 to £1,800. Do you know what? They're about £3,500 now. They're so expensive. And I think that's because it's because of lockdown. Everybody was getting dogs, wasn't it? So yeah, we've they are starting to come down in price, but I might go for a rescue. I might have a little look and go for a rescue. So I'm going to chop these bits off, just double check I've done it right, which I have, and then chop them off, and there's our flying geese done. And hopefully they now measure 2 inches by 3.5, and all you've done is just alter those rectangles, basically. And now we can start putting the block together, we can build it up. So there's a couple of little other elements to do before it all goes together, but we can start building it up now. Okay, there we go. Ooh, that one might need a little bit of squaring. It's stretched just a weeny bit. Ooh, that one looks pretty perfect, which is good, but that one's a little bit wonky. So that one looks okay. I think that one is just gone a weeny bit wonky. That one looks okay as well. And what I'm looking for is basically for this to line up here, so that's nice and straight, and your 1/4 inch just there. Okay, you can see that one, it's gone just a weeny bit wonky there, so I'm just going to square that one up very quickly. Dogs have got ridiculous expensive. They really have. Husband's birthday present, perhaps, Sarah. I think he would. I think he'd go a little bit cross. Would get a bit cross with me if I bought him a dog that I want for his birthday. No, I've just paid. Well, we've just paid for him for us to go to Amsterdam. That's what we're doing for his birthday. But that is a good idea. Maybe it should be my Mother's Day present. Maybe I should have one for my Mother's Day present. There we go. Okay, so we've got 4 little flying geese now as well. All right, and then the 4 little pinwheels, and we can start kind of building these up. So if you go back to the pattern, you can see you've got your flying geese there, and then what we're going to be doing now is we want these to go like this. So can you see your arrows pointing downwards, and you're going to add this coral section rectangle to the top like that. Okay, so we're going to add that one to that one, that one to that one. What time is it? Oh, we're getting there. And then that's that one. So we're going to quickly do that, and then I can lie the block out for you, okay? So I'm just going to put these right sides together. Now I would stitch these with this rectangle on the bottom so that these seams don't get caught. All right, so flip them over. I'm going to go back over to the machine, flip them over. Okay, like that, okay, and have the flat fabric on the bottom so that hopefully, oh no, you are going to catch, come on, don't be a rat bag. Let's try in a bit further. If it does start to catch like that, try a leader, which is just a little bit of fabric that you, come on, why are you catching? There we go. It's just a little bit of fabric you put through first, or just start in a little bit. You make sure you're in the fabric, not right on the edge. So that one. Just move this one so that it's nice and straight. Come on, there we go, got it. Tuck that one in. That's better. Once you've got that first one going, they go through a little bit better. So busy side up is how I work it anyway. Yeah, absolutely, busy side up, that's a really good way of remembering it. Yeah, definitely. It's wherever possible, have your flat fabric on the bottom. It's a flat bottom is always how I think about it. But yeah, busy side up is a nice expression as well. But that one there. And then my last one, like that. And then we're going to lie it out so that we get it right, and not like my, come on, don't be a rat bag. No, it just doesn't like the last one. I do need a new needle. I haven't changed my needle for ages, and it is catching a little bit. All that sewing at Hochanda and stuff as well. We just, come on, there we go, got it this time. Yeah, I know, I can feel that my needle is punching through a little bit, so I really must change it. So back over we go to over here. Oh, there we go. And I made a bit of a mess of that one, but it's fine. That'll disappear in the seam allowance. And again, we're going to iron towards the flatter fabric. So like that. And it looks like you've lost your points there, but that's going to be your 1/4 inch for joining in. Okay. So snip these ones apart, there and there. And we're nearly there. Okay, that one. So this block, as I was saying, is all about little pieces, working with smaller pieces, okay, and you know, finding those little techniques and the confidence to go with smaller bits, okay. You like the look of chain piecing? Absolutely, it's a really useful little thing to do, Cheryl. It saves a lot of time, particularly on bits like this. Okay, we're going to lie this out now. You've got a really nice little graphic here, okay, and the direction of these little bow ties is what we're going to pay attention to, because I obviously didn't the first time round. So we're going to pop that one in the centre, and these, your flying geese, are pointing down to the centre, so those are always going to be pointing into the centre. So am I in the right place for you guys? Is that nice and central for you? Like that. I'm going to go, you could make sure, you know, square these up. These should be 3.5 as well, or as near as damn it. There we go, like that. So those are all going to be pointing in, and you can see you've got the beginning of that star, that first star, okay? And then these ones, this is where I got it wrong. So I'm going to pop that one in like that, okay? Because I want my points in like, so I've got a square inwards, and then one like that. My square goes inwards, like that. There you go. My square goes inwards. And I've had, that's what I did last time, was did that. So I didn't put my square inwards. okay, and there is your block, okay, like that. So as you can see behind me, what I did was I did that on the top of them. Didn't concentrate, so plain square inwards. It doesn't matter which plain one because of how it goes. It doesn't matter, so always plain square inwards, okay? I'm not, because of the time, I'm not going to sew this up now, but you would sew that one to that one to that one. You'd sew the middle, that one to that one to that one, bottom one like that, and then sew them all together. And you're going to make 4 of these blocks, okay? You make 4 blocks like that, and there's your twinkle star. So you've got your main star with its little bursts outwards, okay? Make 4 of those. That's your job this week. If you want to make the sashin pieces, okay, which was fabric 4 and 5, you're basically going to make that, okay, really nice and easy. So you're going to put a 3.5 inch square background fabric opposite a 3.5 of one of your colours, and then you make 3 of those, and on the other ones you're going to put a 2 by 3.5 inch rectangle either end on top of a 2 by 3.5 inch rectangle there, okay, and you make 2 of those. And when the row goes together, I'm just going to, your narrow ones go on the end like that, and your wider ones, your block will be there, and then your wider one will go like that, okay, but there'll be 4 blocks in a row. Didn't draw them long enough, okay? But don't worry too much about doing this now. Just get these blocks done, okay? We can do that bit when we start putting the rows together properly, all right? So don't panic too much. There's your block. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to put it together now because of time. And frankly, my tummy's starting to rumble and I need to eat. So, any questions, my darlings? Anybody's got anything? Susie, you love these fabrics. These are bumbleberries. They were just in my stash. And like I said, I'm not making a whole new quilt. I'm just making a block. So at least I can make some cushion fronts or something with these. I just thought they were nice colours together. Thank you, Debbie. That's lovely. Oh, no problem, Jean. Lovely, lovely. Any questions? Are you all okay with this? Everybody all right? Anybody got anything they want to ask me? No? You can just, you know, if you comment on this video after we've finished, I do still see the comments. So if you think, oh, I wish I'd asked that, or oh, what do we do about that? Just comment away, okay? Just be careful of which way round you put these ones. Because, as we saw, I didn't do it right. So, yeah, it's only this one that's right. All the others are wrong. Never even noticed. Never mind. Thank you for joining me this evening. I hope you're all still enjoying it. Check out the Go and Go and Gone section if there's anything left. There might be, there might not. Don't know now. But I will put up in just a very few minutes, I will pop up a post on the White Gecko Craft Lounge page, not in Gigglers, it'll be on our own page, where you are now, for the prize draw. And we will do that next week. We will give you till next Tuesday. I will draw it next Tuesday, okay? So you're going to put I Love Liberty in the comments, and you're going to share that post to your own feed, okay? So just click the little arrow that says share, post it to your own bit, all right? And to win 15 Liberty Fat Quarters. Who doesn't want that? So thanks for joining me, lovely. I'm going to go and find something to eat now, and we won't see you tomorrow because we've got the funeral to go to. So Sarah will be back on Friday at 1 o'clock, and she's going to take you through the bucket storage that she did on her Chanda. We've got a few kits left, so they'll be going on our website at a discounted price, and she's going to take you through the whole bucket. She's going to show you exactly how to do it. So we're going to do that she's going to do that on Friday, and then I'll see you next week. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you soon, guys. Bye.